Greetings and welcome to our series of weekly devotionals where we take a look at one of the readings in the lectionary for this upcoming Sunday and offer a few thoughts for reflection. And this week we're going to look at a famous story in the second book of Kings, chapter 5, the story of Naaman the Syrian. And Naaman the Syrian, well, he sort of reminds me of a friend of mine he's a bit short. He doesn't quite measure 5 feet tall, which is kind of short for an adult male. And he's kind of a slight guy, and he goes to great lengths to, shall we say, overcompensate. He works a man's job, owns a construction company, and drives about the biggest pickup truck I've ever seen. I'm not sure how he even gets into the cab, wears all kinds of gold jewelry and throws money around like it's going out of style. Naaman sort of takes the same approach in this story in the book of Kings. He is, as we read, the commander of the army of the king of Aram, Naaman, and he was a great man and in high favor with his master because by him the Lord had given victory to Aram. A couple of Hebrew words or terms are used, Ish Gadol and Gibor Hayil, used to describe the man Naaman, and these terms mean influential man and a powerful, mighty warrior. And they're used often in this story to describe Naaman. But though a mighty warrior, we're told he suffered from leprosy. And how does he deal with this vulnerability, this weakness, this shameful situation? Well, he does what powerful people always do. They try to take control of the situation and solve it for themselves. They wield their power and authority to try to fix what's going wrong. And that's what Naaman does. He shows up to the king of Israel with his finest purple robes on and with his mighty chariots and horses, and essentially says, you're going to find a cure for me, or by force I'm going to take it. But as the story moves along, of course, we discover that Naaman is in fact not in control of the situation, and he has to rely on something greater than himself. He has to rely on God. We too in our society, I think, when faced with weakness or shameful situations, our first instinct is to try to grab control of it, to try to wield whatever power and authority we have to fix things for ourselves. And, usually we discover that at the end of it, we too must rely on something greater than ourselves. As Barbara Brown Taylor writes in her book, The Preaching Life, sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we begin to think we're in control of our lives. We come of age and we decide what we're going to be. We open bank accounts and make 5-year plans. We take our vitamins and work out 3 times a week at the gym, and we space our children out 2 years apart, raise them by the book, and 9/10 of the time, all of this actually seems to work. Enough of the time so that we convince ourselves it is true that if you do everything right, everything will turn out all right. That human beings really can take charge of their lives until something happens. The income evaporates, the doctor finds a spot on the x-rays, the child's grades go down, and it's like being trapped inside a fine automobile when the brakes fail. In a split second, everything changes. One moment you're comfortably and safely in command of your journey, and the next you're being flung down the road in an expensive piece of machinery that will not stop. I've lost control, is what good people say when bad things happen to them. I've lost control of my life. I've said it myself, but it's not true. Human beings do not lose control of their lives. What we lose is the illusion that we were ever in control of our lives in the first place. God, may you remove that illusion from our lives and let us place our control ultimately in you. Amen.